Tim McGraw, good morning and welcome to Coffee Country and Cody Live.
Right on.
20 years. You know, we share that in common. I came to town. Coffee Country and Cody started 20 years ago.
Oh, my gosh.
And so did you.
Wow. Time flies, doesn't it?
What did you come to town in? What were you driving when you arrived in
A Greyhound bus. I got here on a Greyhound bus.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did.
Did you not own a car?
I didn't. I got here, I think it was like 4 in the morning when I arrived on a Greyhound bus. It was actually later that morning, Keith Whitley died. It was the day I moved to town.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, 1989.
We just played Meanwhile back at Mama's, and congratulations on the success in advance of all that's happening.
I appreciate it.
With the new work. And this is like how does one go about, I've been in town 20 years. I don't have a life-size picture of my head on the front page of the Tennessean.
Well, it's
if you
not
put it up next to your head, to your real head, it's the same size.
No, it's not to scale.
It was.
and it's very heavily airbrushed, too. I only yell at Mark Hurt, my buddy Mark Hurt. He's listening this morning.
Oh, good,
yeah.
good. Sundown Heaven Town. I have said, and it is one of the features in this portfolio article, one of the things that's talked about, is that, and I have preached this from early on in your career, you are the best song picker for what you do and how you sing, I think, of anyone I have ever known in this business.
Well, I appreciate that. You know,
and this article talks about how you just continue to work at that and work at that.
Well, songs are the most important thing. You know, there are people that sing circles around me, and you know, but you have to be able to find something that fits what you do and, you know, works for what you do and tell a story and let the song speak. For me, I try to find stuff that hits me in a visceral way. It's got to hit me right off the bat, and within the first 2 lines of a song, I know whether I'm going to like it or not. I don't spend a lot of time sitting there and listening to a song over and over and again trying to decide whether I like it. I know pretty much right away.
I heard a little vignette that we had in advance of your visit, some things we featured in the days leading up to this broadcast this morning. If you just joined us, Tim McGraw with the release day on 6:50 AM WSM, Sundown Heaven Town, and wherever you buy or download music, available tomorrow. A pre-order, you can do a pre-order at iTunes. But you said when you were a kid growing up, you would listen to when you bought the album, you'd hear a song or two on the radio, singles on the radio, and then you'd get the album and you'd listen to it and try to predict what that next single was going to be.
I would try to decide what I thought was, and most of the time I was wrong about what the next single would be. But you know,
that was before you knew about record reps, though, and A&R people.
But even now, a lot of my favorite songs off my albums were not singles on radio. You know, and I think that as a fan, I still like to listen to an entire project that an artist puts out, and I think that sometimes in this day and age, fans miss that because they listen to singles so much or they download singles. And I think that to really get a sense of what an album's all about and what an artist is all about, you should listen to the entire project and listen to the body of work and not so much just the single that you hear on radio.
When we saw you and Faith on the ACMs doing Meanwhile Back at Mama's, was that the first public appearance of that song? I thought it was.
It was the first time we'd ever sang that song live together outside the studio, and I was a nervous wreck, actually.
Who was more nervous?
Me, for sure.
Really?
Yeah, me for sure. And then when she walked out, I was so blown away by how she looked because I hadn't seen her. We got together and walked the red carpet, but she didn't let me see what she was going to wear for the actual performance.
Right.
And we had separate dressing rooms, so I came out, got into position, and sat down on my spot, and hadn't seen her since she had changed. And when she first walked out, it was all I could do to keep it together. She looked good.
And what would you be doing on any given morning if you're not on the road? And I know you're headed out for New York. You're playing the Manhattan Theater tomorrow.
Right. Yeah, I'll leave this afternoon. But we're up at 6 in the morning having breakfast with the kids, and we only have one that we drive to school now. So I'll drive Audrey to school and come back and hit the gym. It's usually my typical morning.
I was going to ask you how much time you spend in the gym. And
that's every morning. It's just, it's pretty much part of my routine. I look at it as punching the clock for me. It's part of what I do.
How long are you in there? How long do you work out?
Well, when I'm not touring, it's as grueling as it is when I'm touring. But I'll spend a couple hours in there in the mornings. Yeah.
And so at any given point in time, we could look across the parking lot, and you're lined up in school traffic with all the other parents.
Absolutely, yeah.
Other celebrities in town, possibly. There's hey.
Yeah, we all go to the celebrity school.
Yeah. Tim McGraw, if you just joined us on 6:50 AM WSM, we featured some songs already this morning. Black Jacket on the deluxe edition was a song that really caught my ear.
It's a cool one. When I went into the Warm Boys wrote that song, of course.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. And when I heard the demo, I knew what I wanted to do with it. And my goal was to it reminded me of college a little bit, so in high school. So my goal was to go in and sort of make it as 80s as I possibly can make it. I wanted a little bit of sort of Corey Hart, I wear my sunglasses at night, a little bit of Boys of Summer, Don Henley. So that was sort of the vibe we were going for that song. And I think we sort of hit it. It really feels that way to me.
And Shotgun Rider, which we're featuring prominently here on 650 AM WSM, it just captures that feeling of riding around, listening to the radio, back to what you referenced a little bit earlier of how songs touch you so deeply at a certain age particularly.
Yeah, that song feels like if you wanted to pick a perfect country radio song, that song feels like the perfect country radio song for me. It just feels like it's something that you're going to hear on the radio and you want to turn up and you want to roll your windows down and cruise and just listen to and sing along with.
Well, and I think back to some of those early pictures before you and Faith married, when you were still dating, that will surface from time to time when you were riding around in a Jeep and things like that. And I thought, boy, that's kind of autobiographical for
absolutely.
You in many ways.
It feels like the story of our life a little bit. Yeah.
As the sports guy, Tim, can I ask you a sports question?
Sure, yeah.
Did you think 15 years ago when you did it, we'd still be hearing, I like it, I love it, I want some more of it, when the Predators are scoring every goal? It's still so cool to see that on the Jumbotron.
I didn't. I didn't think I certainly still didn't think they'd still be using that song, that's for sure. I'm pretty proud of that. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Of all the moments we have shared over the 20 years we've been in town, overlapping, as Tim mentioned at the top of the interview, just joined us. He arrived 20 years ago, as did I, on Coffee Country and Cody. And one of my favorites was a show that we did out in Florence, Arizona. Wow. Where one of the big festivals, Country Thunder festivals, between Phoenix and Tucson. And it was a night that either you were stuck in traffic or the band was stuck in traffic, but you were not together. I remember that. Yeah. And the band arrived at the venue, and there was no sign of you. And it was as if you appeared like somebody rubbed a lamp and poof, Tim McGraw appeared. I mean, literally, just in time. You do a prayer backstage, do you not, before you go out each night?
Yeah, well,
and you did that night.
Yeah,
maybe it was because you actually made it.
For sure, yeah. We certainly did that night. It worked out. But they do a good. Knock on wood, we've always happened to make it right on time. Sometimes when we gotten stuck in traffic and stuff, and usually the local police do a really good job of getting us through.
Who were the people that Tim McGraw wanted to go see? Who were the concerts you first saw when you came to town on that Greyhound bus?
Oh, wow. I'm a big Eagles fan, so I've seen the Eagles a couple of times live, which was a lot of fun. And I saw them this year, which was a lot of fun for me. And I saw Springsteen this year, of course. I'm a big fan of his. I took my girls to see One Direction a couple of months ago, so that was a lot of fun. But gosh,
are they going to the Lord show? I saw that they were fans of Lord.
Yeah, they'll be going to the Lord show. They're going to love to see that. But they're big fans of all kinds of music. They love everybody out there, and they're pretty eclectic about some of the stuff that they like. And they're modern. Like last night we had the party at the place down Gray's down in Franklin. We had a little get together, and there was a playlist playing in the background, and my daughter Gracie put that playlist together, so it was sort of her taste that was playing.
What are their ages now?
Gracie's 17, Maggie's 16, and Audrey's 12, almost 13. Yeah, so I've only got a couple of months left before I'll have all teenage girls in the house.
That's right. You're the only man in the house. Can I remind you of that?
Very deep pool of estrogen at my
house. Tomorrow he's in New York. What's the Manhattan Center show tomorrow night?
We're playing at the Hammerstein Ballroom, and the band and I are going to be playing. It's American Express unstaged performance. It'll be online at American Express unstaged.com. I guess I'm not very good at online stuff.
Okay.
But we'll be playing live and playing a lot of songs off the new album. We'll play some older songs too. We're playing a lot of songs off the new album. The Warm Boys will be opening the show for me and playing. They'll be playing some of the songs that we've written together and some of the songs of theirs that I've recorded. Just a beautiful ballroom, and Bennett Miller, a fantastic movie director, is directing the whole thing, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
And you take a couple of weeks off, and in early October, you hit it in Texas. You're going to Hidalgo and Corpus, and
we have a few shows throughout the winter. a couple of movie projects we're looking at that we might be doing, and then we'll see what happens next summer.
Are you a good guy or a bad guy in these?
I like playing bad guys. I like playing bad guys.
You do it well.
Yeah, I don't. It's something really fun about being able to be one of those guys.
Tim McGraw.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Long-awaited Big Machine work is out wherever you buy or download music tomorrow. Sundown Heaven Town.
Right on.
Great to have you.
You got it.
Coffee, Country, and Cody on 650 AM WSM.